Welcome to the Holy Way. Today, we reflect on the readings for the 21st Sunday, in Ordinary Time, August 25, 2024. First reading, a reading from the book of Joshua. Joshua gathered together all the tribes of Israel at Shechem, summoning their elders, their leaders, their judges, and their officers. When they stood in ranks before God, Joshua addressed all the people. If it does not please you to serve the Lord, decide today whom you will serve. The gods your fathers served beyond the river, or the gods of the Amorites in whose country you are now dwelling. As for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. But the people answered, Far be it from us to forsake the Lord for the service of other gods, for it was the Lord, our God, who brought us and our fathers up out of the land of Egypt, out of a state of slavery. He performed those great miracles before our very eyes, and protected us along our entire journey, and among the peoples through whom we passed. Therefore we also will serve the Lord, for he is our God. The word of the Lord. Responsorial Psalm. Taste and see the goodness of the Lord. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall be ever in my mouth. Let my soul glory in the Lord. The lowly will hear me and be glad. Taste and see the goodness of the Lord. The Lord has eyes for the just, and ears for their cry. The Lord confronts the evildoers, to destroy remembrance of them from the earth. Taste and see the goodness of the Lord. When the just cry out, the Lord hears them, and from all their distress he rescues them. The Lord is close to the broken-hearted, and those who are crushed in spirit he saves. Taste and see the goodness of the Lord. Many are the troubles of the just one, but out of them all the Lord delivers him. He watches over all his bones. Not one of them shall be broken. Taste and see the goodness of the Lord. Second reading, a reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Ephesians. Brothers and sisters, live in love, as Christ loved us. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ loved the church, and handed himself over for her to sanctify her, cleansing her by the bath of water with the word, that he might present to himself the church in splendor, without spot or wrinkle or any such thing, that she might be holy and without blemish. So also husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. For no one hates his own flesh, but rather nourishes and cherishes it, even as Christ does the church, because we are members of his body. For this reason a man shall leave his father and his mother, and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. This is a great mystery, but I speak in reference to Christ and the church. The word of the Lord. Gospel, a reading from the first letter of St. John. Many of Jesus' disciples who were listening said, This saying is hard, who can accept it? Since Jesus knew that his disciples were murmuring about this, he said to them, Does this shock you? What if you were to see the Son of Man ascending to where he was before? It is the Spirit that gives life, while the flesh is of no avail. The words I have spoken to you are spirit and life, but there are some of you who do not believe. Jesus knew from the beginning the ones who would not believe, and the one who would betray him. And he said, For this reason I have told you that no one can come to me, unless it is granted him by my Father. As a result of this, many of his disciples returned to their former way of life, and no longer accompanied him. Jesus then said to the 12, Do you also want to leave? Simon Peter answered him, Master, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life. We have come to believe, and are convinced that you are the Holy One of God. The Gospel of the Lord. Today's readings invite us to a deeper commitment to God and to the relationships he has placed in our lives. Joshua calls us to choose whom we will serve, while the Psalm reminds us to trust in God's goodness. St. Paul's teaching on marriage challenges us to love as Christ loves, and the Gospel confronts us with the reality of following Jesus, even when his teachings are hard to accept. As we reflect on these scriptures, let us renew our commitment to serve the Lord, trust in his goodness, and follow him faithfully, knowing that he alone has the words of eternal life.
Thank you for joining us on the Holy Way. If you found this reflection meaningful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more spiritual guidance. We invite you to leave your prayer intentions in the comments section below so our community can keep you in their prayers. Stay blessed and continue to walk in faith and truth.